نعمه إلا أنت من
to pull people away. We are here to share whatever knowledge that we have taken from our Shaykh. We don't claim that knowledge from ourselves too. Never. It is not coming from us. Every knowledge, everything that I know is coming from my Shaykh. It's taking it from his Shaykh, taking it from his Shaykh. That is what Islam is. It's not sanat, isn't it? If that one is not really mentioning his Shaykh, then we say, where are you taking? You have to. You're a doctor. Where you come from? Which hospital do you come from? Which school did you graduate from? Who gave you the internship? All these things are important. So, we are here to share, and those who are loving the Holy Prophet ﷺ, we are welcoming them, whoever that they are. Hazreti Rumi Qaratul Sir is saying, come, come, whoever you are, wherever you are. Idol worshipper, fire worshipper, come. Ours is not a dergah of despair. Even if you've broken your promises 1,000 times, come. Come, but leave the ego outside. Come, but leave the ego behind. Otherwise, if you enter with the ego's best friend is shaitan. In the company of the prophets, ﷺ, if you bring your ego, shaitan will enter. And it will cause fitna. It will make people, instead of becoming believers, to become munafiqs. Aren't there munafiqs around the prophets? ﷺ? Yes. Who are those ones? Those ones in their heart is something else, in their face is something else. Those ones, they say something else and they do something else. May Allah make us to become real believers. We are very weak. Let us not be munafiqs, inshallah, because they occupy the lowest level of hellfire. So, Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is another disciple. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to you. Welcome to me. This is Little Rock. What happened to the big rock? Yeah? Little Rock. Welcome to you, inshallah. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from shaitan and shaitanic people and the evil that is outside of us and the evil that is inside of us. And we're running to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we're mentioning His most holy name, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. That the secret knowledge that is reached to the Awliya Allah is saying in the names of Rahman and Rahim is contained not only the 99 names of Allah, but the 1,000 names of Allah that is contained in the Zabur, in the Tawrat, in the Injil, and in the Quran. All 104 books with the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. That is what prophets they recite before a miracle happens. No special dua. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bi-iznillah, Isa alayhi salam was able to raise the dead with Allah's permission. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Musa alayhi salam threw his cane, and that cane of truth started to swallow all the other falsehoods around him. With Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the Red Sea was opened. But that is said with faith. With Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you can go to the Mi'raj. Your prayer will become a Mi'raj. But there is a difference now. When Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is said by those who have complete faith, and when Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is said when those that their faith have not reached to a high level yet. We hope to reach to a higher level of faith to become better servants to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not here saying that we want to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and to work miracles too. That is not our purpose. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Now it's hard right now to في هذا المسجد الله رب العالمين حسبنا الله ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم طريقتنا الصحبة في الخير من جميع. Here about Tariqat, Shaykh Naqshbandi QadasAllah Sir, he said, our Tariqat, it is based on association. The prophets, they give advice. We cannot give advice because we are not prophets. These are king-size walis, but they have such high adab. They say prophets, they give advice. We don't give advice because we are not prophets. We have Sohbet. Sohbet means association, like this. They just love me and they're putting this chair. It's not necessary. We can all sit on the floor, we sit together. We are all together learning from each other. Sitting in a circle. The Wahhabis, they hate people sitting in a circle. But we're saying what happened in the Kaaba Kaaba Sharif. Everyone is making tawaf in a circle too, isn't it? And Allah is specifically mentioning there are angels right now, because it's a Thursday night, they are circling around everywhere, looking to see if there are circles of men who are gathering to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the angels will then be with them. And they will cover their association. Because of that association, so many wrong associations right now that is happening, they will be forgiven. Their sins will be wiped out because of the rahmat and the barakat of that one association. 70,000. This is important for us to know. Not necessary for us too much to burden ourselves with all kinds of knowledge. The little knowledge that we have, practice that sincerely. That is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are we gathering to make the zikr of Allah? Yes. Shukr alhamdulillah. Are we gathering? No. But I want to gather. But dunya is closing ways. Your heart is there? Yes. You get the reward. Some, they say, no, we're not going to. Why? Because I don't like this person. I don't like that person. Then you're not coming for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're coming for the sake of that person. No good. We are gathering here, alhamdulillah, to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to give the highest praises to His Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. We are here on this Thursday night, where traditionally, when Islam was ruling, Thursday night is the beginning of the Muslim weekend. Everything is shut down because Jummah just entered, the most holy day of Jummah that is more holy than the two Eids combined. If we say this, so many say, we know that knowledge, we know that knowledge. I say, yes, to know is something. What are we doing about it? Because the action that we're doing is going to prove the intention. Everything has a proof. Even prophethood has proofs. There's proofs to prophethood. To prove then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy, especially for us in the Akhir Zaman. Take one step and I will take 10 steps towards you. Allah is saying, you walk to me, I will run to you. So we're making some steps to sit and to listen to a sohbet. Like I said before, anything that we learn is not coming from us, it's coming from our Shaykh. And we're here just to share. You like it, take it. You don't like it, leave it. This is not a gathering of scholars. This is not. If you enter through the door of tariqat, the way. Tariqat means way. Shariat means way. Shariat is what Prophet said to do and to not do. Tariqat is how he lived his life. You enter through the door. Now, of tariqat, certain things you have to leave behind. Because what is it that the tariqat shaykhs that they are teaching? Is nothing but Islam. What is that? Submission. Submission. Not to say I have submission, but to have the submission that the Sahaba Kiram had for the Holy Prophet. That's a very high level, isn't it? The most distinguished people in the world, in all of history, after the Prophets and the Sahaba Kiram. They proved their faith, not just by words, but by action. And that door, that blessing, that sunnat is still continuing until Ahir Zaman, until Qiyamah. Those who are gathering for the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and they are listening to someone with an isnad, with a connection, with a lineage, who has a teacher reaching all the way back to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and teaching us about submission. This is the key point now. Key point in tariqat that a lot of people, they're not going to understand or find it very difficult. So, Alhamdulillah, on this holy night of Jummah, we're gathering here to make zikr. We're gathering here to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also to try to learn something that our shaykhs are sending to us, to understand a little bit about ourselves, and to understand a little bit about our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Niyat, intention, is important. Niyat, it is the most important. But don't take our niyat for granted. We have to test something if it is true or not. It goes the same thing with our faith too. The faith has to be tested to see whether it is real or is not real. As much as we are putting our faith under a microscope, as much as we are judging and critiquing, not others, ourselves, not others. In fact, unless you're a teacher, you have to, the hallmark of someone who is following tariqat, they are very easy on others, but they're very hard on themselves. Because otherwise, how you think Islam had spread to the whole world? They weren't spread by the whole world, to the whole world, especially firstly by scholars. Scholars will tell you what is halal and haram. Will tell you what is right and what is wrong. They were first spread the Awliya Allah. And Awliya Allah first look at their intentions and say this one has a love, this one has a thirst. Just doing so many wrong things. Say it's alright. Take that love first. Connect that first. In time everything is going to change. First, they gather their hearts. They don't gather their minds. First they gather their hearts. First Jahiliyyah, it happened. Holy Prophet ﷺ gathered hearts. He didn't gather minds. According to the minds, those people, they are saying, the mushriks, they're saying, this one, he's not a scholar. He doesn't even know how to read and write, isn't it? He used to tend our camels, and now he's saying he's somebody. He's not rich. He doesn't have that much influence, all according to the mind. It doesn't fit. But the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he had Allah. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ, yes, there were others around him who believed in him. And Allah then sends help to that one. And he took people and he spoke to them and he gathered their hearts. He didn't appeal to their minds first. He took their hearts. Later he went to Medina. When the people in Medina, they were ready now. They said, now we accept the faith, but we also want to live as Muslims. That's a different station now. A teacher has to know which station the students are at. If that student is a grade school student, he's not going to give the test of a high school or a college. That one who is from college level, he's not going to pull down his intelligence by giving him something that a grade school student is going to pass. And he's not going to talk people generally too. Whatever he speaks about is going to touch their hearts, but there's something there for everyone. And according to the power of the Shaykh, now he may speak to people of different nationalities. He may speak to people of different colors. He may speak to people who have different educational background. The Awliya Allah, they went and they spoke to people that they couldn't even speak the language. So now it is beyond this. It is beyond the intelligence. What has it got to do? What is it? It is the nur. It is the light of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And the light of the Holy Prophet ﷺ that he has given, especially in tariqat, to certain chosen ones of his sahabis too. It's not to every sahabi that he has given. We are here remembering our Prophet, remembering the Sahabi Kiram, and how they sat and how they learned from the Prophet ﷺ, and what kind of love and submission they had to him. That submission continues according to those ones who are his, chosen to be his inheritors. The great Awliya Allah who touched into the subcontinent, say of India. When they came in collecting the hearts. They spoke the language too, but they came with such love, with such tolerance. Yes, in the beginning, they did not come to say, every one of you, you're going to go to hellfire because you're worshipping wrong things. He tries to find a common ground somewhere. He brings them in. Then, that time, when they are ready, he starts teaching them other things. Then they start changing. We are in that situation right now, believe it or not. We are in a situation where we know so much book knowledge, but there is very little faith. If there is a lot of faith, we would have changed this whole world. With 2 billion Muslims, everyone who has faith, with this much resources, money, education, it would have changed not only the face of this world, thousands of worlds like this we would have. Because Prophet ﷺ came with a handful of people. A handful of people came and they conquered India. A handful of people, they came and they conquered Western China. Everywhere in the world, a handful of people who had what? Who had faith, who were willing to die, who were willing to sacrifice everything. Inshallah, may Allah bless them, and for their sake bless us too in our association. And we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us and to keep us in safety, to make us to love the Awliya Allah, not to fight with them, to love whoever is following whichever lineage, whichever tariqat, not to find fault with them, not to say they're doing this. No. Allah, Allah. Don't you see? We say this over and over again. Our Shaykh saying this over and over again. The Batil, they are together. They are together, united. But people of Haqq, they keep fighting with each other. People of Mazhabs, they keep fighting with each other. Ahli Sunnat fight with each other. Ahli Tariqat not fighting with each other. And inside of the Tariqat, they're fighting with each other. What is this? When are we going to grow up? When are we going to grow up to say, you know what? This one does things differently. That's his way. This one does things differently. That's his way. Let it be. This is our way, and one is welcome. But when there is fighting to say, no, you are wrong and I'm right, then the ego interferes now. If somebody comes and asks me, what do you think? Then I say, this is what I think. I always tell that person what I think, according to our Shaykh. This is a better way of doing it. You don't have to follow. You're okay if you want to do it that way. It's okay. We're not here to argue. Holy Prophet ﷺ says argument about religion extinguishes the light of faith. Especially in these days where people have so less faith. Anywhere you see they have zikr, go. It doesn't matter who, which type, go, because they're remembering Allah. Why are you blocking people not to come? I'm not understanding this. Then inside of tariqat, inside of Ahl Sunnat, inside of saying you are loving the Prophet ﷺ, you're stopping people from making the zikr. Now we need someone with heavenly support to come to bring people together, to unite people to come together. Inshallah Rahman. With a handful, it will change this whole world. And it's going to take a handful also to change this whole world when the time comes, inshallah. May our hearts be ready for that. We cannot afford to do so many things. Our hands are tied. But we cannot like what is happening. And we have to say, Ya Rabbi, keep us on the straight path. Make us to love the alims, the arif, and the awliya Allah. And let not fitna to enter into our association in our communities. But then they say, oh, I don't believe in Mawlid. It's okay. You believe or you don't believe, it's up to you. You believe it's not going to benefit me. You don't believe it's not going to benefit me. I don't believe it. You say, it's okay. I believe it. You shouldn't. Well, that's where we draw the line now. We say, yes, we come to the point where it's lakum dinukum waliyad. To you your religion and to me mine. Are we going to sit here and fight over it? We should not fight over it. You don't like to come? Don't come. It's okay. Can we learn how to get along with our differences? No. Oh. Then isn't this America the brave, the beautiful, the free? Even kafirs, they are saying you are free to worship your own way. And Muslims now, they are, of course, if somebody is going to be crashing through that door right now and start to fight with us, we have to stand up to defend. But we're not now going to open the door and to go into different communities and to say you are wrong, you are this. That's not the way of Islam. That's not the way of tariqat especially. Everything has to be with izn, with permission. Like I said, if somebody comes and asks me something, I will say. But I say, this is for me. If you don't think it's for you, leave it. It's okay. I'm not going to force. I'm not going to make a fatwa. I'm not going to say this halal, haram, you have to do this. I'm not also going to say I claim something. I claim nothing. I've learned from my Shaykh and I'm here to speak because he has ordered me to. I would rather not. It's a much easier life. I can just sit back and relax and not be responsible. But he says no, speak. So we speak. May Allah forgive me and bless all of you. For the sake of the Holy Prophet, al-Fatiha.